Good morning, traders. This is Shane Scott, the moderator of Newsware's Trade Talk. At Trade Talk, we're providing you with the most up-to-the-minute news on the market, along with the facts, themes, and short-term trading ideas for the day ahead. Joining me today is our trading anchor, Bill Olson, who brings over 30 years of institutional trading knowledge to our program. We're going to get things started with our markets update. U.S. futures are mixed this morning, with S&P futures down 0.25%, Dow futures down 0.35%, and NASDAQ futures up 0.02%. Markets are seeing dips this morning, both in the U.S. and globally, as investors dumped Chinese shares amid a regulatory overhaul in the country. The Hang Seng Index has slumped 4.2% lower as rumor has spread that the U.S. funds are offloading China and Hong Kong assets. Overall, this has brought a pessimistic mood to the markets, even in spite of big players like Tesla and GE beating earnings forecasts. With the rout in China spooking traders already on edge from Delta variants and central banks talking about tightening policy to cap inflationary pressures, more volatility is to be expected moving forward. In terms of catalysts, all eyes will be looking toward this week's FOMC meeting and earnings from tech giants like Apple and Alphabet. Over in Asia, China's yuan slid to its lowest since April against the dollar and bonds slumped. Both of these factors are indications of worry that Beijing's crackdown on education, food delivery, and property sectors could expand to other industries. The Hang Seng Tech Index has plunged as much as 10%. Bill, what are you seeing as far as market updates?
Well, Shane, I'm watching the S&Ps, and the S&Ps tell me that we're going to open up a little lower. Listen, we hit record high yesterdays. It's expected a small little pullback, a little bit of a breather to start the open. But you got all these earnings coming out, and they're good earnings. We're in a solid phase. So I expect, the S&Ps to start increasing later in the session as we go along. We do have the FOMC meeting, but that starts today. There's not going to be an announcement till tomorrow. So today, I think we start off a little slow and climb higher later in the day. I look at Europe, the European markets, and they're bouncing back from their earlier lows. Their earlier lows were caused by what? They were caused by China. China's regulations against their big tech firms. The sell-off of U.S. funds selling off, Chinese tech. Yeah, it's going on. That's why you're seeing those stocks get a little depressed, whereas the ones in the U.S. are still remaining very solid. The big thing here is, with the FOMC meeting that's coming up, is that, yes, they're going to likely discuss tapering. That's pretty much a sure bet. But there's not going to be any formal decision that's going to come out of this meeting on tapering. It's just discussions. A big event, such as a monetary policy change, which is tapering would be, is likely to come out of the Jackson Hole event, which is at the August meeting of the Federal Reserve, the FOMC guys. So I don't expect anything significant out of tomorrow's meeting. But right now, I'm focused on earnings. The S&P, we could open up a little weaker, but I'm still looking at some of these stocks, and I got a real positive feeling on the number of earnings that are coming out this afternoon.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about earnings. Bill, tell us what we've been seeing so far.
Let's talk about Tesla. They reported last night that ticker TSLA, Tom, Sam, Larry, Apple. They beat by 72 cents, and they did it on higher revenue. And, it really goes very well for their model. J&J Snack Foods, that's ticker JJSF, they beat by 11 cents on higher revenue. And PKG, Paul Kilo Grace, this is Packaged Corporate of America, they beat by 40 cents on higher revenue. This morning, we saw UPS, United Parcel Systems, United Parcel Service. They released earnings. They beat by 25 cents on higher revenue. 3M came in. That's ticker MMM, Michael. They came in with a beat of 33 cents on higher revenue. General Electric, that's ticker GE. They beat by a penny on higher revenue. Stanley Black & Decker, that's ticker SWK. They beat by 21 cents, on higher revenue. Boston Scientific, that's ticker BSX, Boysam X-Ray, they beat by 3 cents on higher revenue. JetBlue, they came in with a beat of 9 cents. They did that on higher revenue. I'm wrapping this up with Archer Daniels Midland. This is ticker ADM, Apple David Michael. They beat by 34 cents on higher revenue. And you see all these positive earnings coming out, yet the SPOOs are trading a little off. I expect them to turn later as we get into later in the day when the big tech earnings start to come out.
let's get into that. Bill, tell us what we're seeing as far as the upcoming earning announcements.
Well, we start off with Google. That's the best of breed. That's ticker GOOG. You're looking for an earnings. Their EPS estimate is $19.34 from them, and the expected move is 4.18%. You're looking at Microsoft, which has really been a beast. They're looking to earn $1.90 this past quarter. The expected move here is 3.22%. Starbucks, that's ticker SBUX, Samboy under X-ray. Their EPS estimate is 77 cents, and the expected move there is 4%. Visa, ticker V, EPS estimate is $1.35, and the expected move here is 3.28%. Mattel, that's ticker MAT, Michael Apple Tom. EPS estimate there is for a loss of 5 cents, and the expected move there is 6.64%. AMD, the chip maker, EPS estimate there is 54 cents, and the expected move is 6.64%. And of course, let's round this out by Apple, ticker AAPL. The EPS estimate there is for $1. The expected move there is 4.2%. A couple of notes. Microsoft lost that JEDI contract. We don't know if that's going to do anything to their forward guidance, which could be an issue when they release their earnings. Visa, that estimate looks a little low, so I'm really expecting some good news to come out of Visa. And Starbucks, 77 cents, a little low, but the stock's been on a tear lately, so I'd be a little concerned there. But overall, I think we're going to have a good earnings announcements this afternoon, so I'm looking forward to it, Shane.
Yeah, same here. Let's also talk about economic reports. Bill, tell us what we're seeing for reports today.
Durable good orders. This is a key report. It's coming out at 8:30 a.m. At 8:55, we have the Johnson Red Book retail sales figures. Not a major report, but in aggregate, it's important. At 9 a.m., the home price index will be coming out. At 10 a.m., we got some consumer confidence figures. And at 10 a.m., we also have the Richmond Fed manufacturing index. Only other thing I want to throw out there is at 4:30 p.m., we have the API, which is the American Petroleum Institute. They're going to be releasing their oil stockpile estimates after the bell today.
Moving into our morning's critical insights, starting things off with one on AstraZeneca, ticker AZN. AstraZeneca has entered into a collaboration with Regeneron, ticker REGN, to research, develop, and commercialize small molecule compounds with the potential to treat obesity. AstraZeneca's share price is up 1.07% in pre-market, while Regeneron's is down 0.05%. Elsewhere in pharmaceutical news, Day One Biopharmaceuticals, ticker DAWN, has been granted Rare Pediatric Disease designation for its rare disease pediatric treatment, Day 101. News on Merck, ticker MRK. Merck announced primary endpoints reached and positive overall survival results from its phase 3 trial for Keytruda in combination with chemotherapy for the treatment of breast cancer. More news from Keytruda. The FDA has approved the drug as a treatment for patients with high-risk breast cancer in combination with chemotherapy. So Merck's share price is up 0.16% in pre-market. Moving into some acquisition news. Starting things off with one on Becton Dickinson, ticker BDX. Becton Dickinson has acquired Teffa, a resorbable polymer technology producer, on undisclosed terms. News on Nordic Capital. Nordic Capital is in advanced talks on a potential acquisition of Inovalin, ticker INOV, according to sources on the matter, with a final agreement yet to have been reached. Inovalin's share price is up 13.42% in pre-market. News on CBRE Group, ticker CBRE. It's set to buy a 60% stake in Turner and Townsend in a $1.3 billion deal. CBRE's share price is down 0.22% in pre-market. API Group, ticker APG, is nearing acquisition of Carrier Global, that's ticker CARR, their fire, safety, and security business Chubb for about $3 billion in cash. A deal could be announced as early as today. Carrier Global share price is up 0.8% in pre-market. News on Starbucks, ticker SBUX. Starbucks has agreed to sell its 50% ownership shares of Starbucks Coffee Korea, with joint venture partner Emart acquiring an additional 17.5% interest in the company and 67.5% ownership of Starbucks operations in South Korea. Starbucks has agreed to sell its remaining shares to GIC Private, which is Singapore's sovereign wealth fund. Starbucks share price is up 0.19% in pre-market. Lastly, for me, Kenmore's ticker CC has agreed to sell its mining solutions business for $520 million in cash to Draslavka Holding, a Czech-based private company specializing in cyanide production. The transaction is expected to close in the fourth quarter of 2021. Bill, what are you seeing as far as this morning's news?
Shane, I break my news alerts down into specific sectors. I'm looking for industries such as oil. I'm looking at events such as earnings, conference calls, to kind of find those stories that are really going to move the market during the day. I start off with my FANG alert every morning, and one of the stories that came out had this section where they were essentially saying, well, China continues to push to enhance its oversight into the big tech firms. The big tech firms in the U.S. are really poised for gains due to the slew of earnings reports that are coming out this afternoon. You look at Facebook, that's ticker FB, Frank Boyd, the FTC deadline to refile Facebook antitrust suit has been extended according to the Journal. They now have until August 19th to file an amendment of the antitrust suit that they are challenging Facebook with. Amazon, there was a story out yesterday that, Amazon was looking at accepting Bitcoin or digital currencies by the end of the year or by the end of next year. Amazon came out and denied that. That's really negative for the cryptos. They're going to report Q2 sales, later this week. B of A thinks that the Q3 sales could really be facing headwinds amid falling stimulus and declining e-commerce sales. Remember, Amazon moved up their Prime Day to the second quarter from the third quarter, so that's going to be beneficial for this quarter's earnings. But you got to be a little concerned about next quarter's. Tesla reported, really strong earnings. Musk used, the conference call to kind of take some digs over at Apple. He was making comments about, cobalt and how he thinks that they use 100% cobalt in their batteries, cell phones, and laptops, whereas Tesla uses no cobalt or iron phosphate packs at all. But that was kind of interesting. And, Facebook came out this morning, and supposedly the social media giant is really working on creating a solid product team to work on what they call metaverse, which is a digital world where people can move between different devices and communicate in a virtual environment. That's big. We'll see how that goes. In terms of the Dow 30 news events that are going on, Boeing, ticker BA, they're preparing for a new launch of a space capsule. There was also a Dow Jones article the other day that was talking about a brain drain at Boeing, as many of the engineers have left for opportunities with SpaceX and Blue Origin. That shouldn't be surprising because these are new companies. So yeah, that doesn't surprise me, but I don't think there's a real brain drain at Boeing to be concerned about. Intel, that's ticker INTC. They're pledging to return to the top of their game. They're committed to producing the world's best chips within 4 years. IBM and the University of Tokyo are unveiling Japan's most powerful quantum computer today. McDonald's, these celebrity meals and these crispy chicken sandwiches, they're really expected to fuel the sales increase. The number that's being thrown out is 24%, and they're reporting earnings tomorrow. So that's something to watch for. McDonald's, ticker MCD. In terms of the options, I mentioned to you that story yesterday about Amazon and the cryptocurrencies. Well, that caused the cryptocurrencies to really, have some, nice call activity yesterday. You look at Mara, which is Marathon Digital Holdings, ticker MARA, Michael Apple, Richard Apple. Their call put ratio was 3 calls every 1 put. Riot Blockchain, ticker RIOT, Richard India Outside Town. Their call put ratio was 4.3 calls to every 1 put. That's all going to be destroyed today because Amazon came out and said the rumor's false. So Cryptocurrencies are not going to be hot today. I'm not seeing many significant events going on today, but these really are my hot headlines for today that I see, Shane.
Let's talk about our Trade Talk picks for today. I'm picking Apple, ticker AAPL. This is an earnings play. They've got an EPS estimate coming out after market today of $1.01. Apple got a lift in sales from people working from home and learning from home during the COVID-19 pandemic. And Mac and iPad sales could likely be returning to low and mid single digit growth soon after big increases during the health crisis. So this is something I'm still expecting to see Apple to see some positivity from, and I expect them to get a rise going into earnings announcement after the close today. So that's my pick. What's your pick looking like, Bill?
I'm going with Bungie. It's ticker BG. Well, boy, grace. These guys produce software for farmers. The EPS estimate is $1.61. The expected move here is 7%. If you look at their results that they came out with in May, it was a blowout quarter. And if you look at the ratings out there, everything is very positive. Everything is, shined up very nicely. You look at what the CEO said last quarter. He goes, hey, we are optimistic that the favorable demand environment of the first quarter is going to continue through 2021. And we are confident we have the right team and model in place to maintain our positive momentum. Okay, you know what? I'm sold. I think BG is going to have a nice move after they release earnings tomorrow. So my pick for today is Bungie, ticker BG, boy grace.
Let's talk about what's hot off the press. So the news is hitting the tape as we speak, moving the stocks today. Let's get into it. Bill, which of the stories we should be letting traders know about?
Intel, ticker INTC. The stock is dropping. It's dipping because the new chip design and production schedule was just revealed. Here's the one on Jinko Solar. It's ticker JKS, John Kilo Sam. Court of Appeals concludes that Jinko Solar products do not infringe on Hanwha's patents.
BioV, ticker BIVI, is getting ready to present data on its treatment for Alzheimer's disease at an upcoming research event. Something to look forward to.
Lamb Weston just reported Q4 EPS. They beat the street estimate by a penny.
XL Fleet, ticker XL, and Arbach just announced a partnership to electrify Freedom Low Blower buses. Wafu Education, ticker WAFU, is saying that new regulations in China do not impact the company. So this is an education company in China. And to add it, what's being stated was that the Wafu's company was actually being encouraged by the Chinese government as opposed to finding any difficulties.
Ticker ECL, Echo Labs, they just topped Q2 EPS by a penny.
News on Volkswagen. The company is said to be moving closer to a deal with Europe Car at about a $3 billion bid.
Ticker SBEV, Samboy, Edward Victor. This is Splash Beverage, salt tequila to be marketed by Southern Eagle. Ticker MYO, Michael Yellow Oscar. They received accreditation from HQAA.
AbbVie, ticker ABBV, and Calico have extended their collaboration and are each putting $500 million more into that each. And this is regarding developing new therapies for patients with age-related diseases. Anything else interesting for you, Bill?
No, that's all I'm seeing, Shane.
Same here. That's going to do it for what's hot off the press. Traders, keep in mind you can receive the same stories we do simply by subscribing at newsware.com. Check us out for a free trial. It'll definitely up your trading game. Moving into our scoreboard, talking about how our picks did from Monday. I had 3M, ticker MMM. It opened at $200.45 and just past 2 p.m. went up as high as $202.70 for a 1.12% gain. The stock is currently moving higher in pre-market today since earnings were announced and is up past $203, about $203.19 and moving higher. So still some gains to be made. Overall, not a bad pick. How'd yours end up doing, Bill?
I did Package Corp of America yesterday. That's ticker PKG, Paul Kilo Grace. Stock opened up at $133.50, ran to as high as $134.92, which is a 1.06 differential. Closed on the day at 134.57. But after the earnings came out, the stock jumped to 137.75. I saw that print hit this morning. It's a 3% move. So, it is still moving higher. So, Package Corp of America, PKG was a good one yesterday.
Nice. Well, that's going to do it for us here at Trade Talk. But traders, you know what to do. Let's get out there. Let's make some green.